everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play No Man's Sky. On a No Man's Sky Sunday, I'm your host, Colors Fade. It's episode 42, and we are not in the system that we were last time. And I'm going to show you where we are and how far we've come. And then, if we have time, I'm going to show you how I quickly got here. Because it's kind of a cool process. So where are we at? Let's take a look at the galactic chart. We are in Agnes Opwit, which I'm going to show you from the Wikipedia where this is in the list of systems. So Agnes Opwit is system number 49, as you can see from the list of known galaxies. And where I'm actually trying to get to is over here on this other list of lush worlds. We're trying to get to number 50, which is a tranquil galaxy. Teye Pilni is where we want to go. And so you're probably asking, how the heck did we get 49 galaxies into this thing? We were in Euclid. Well, that's what I'm now going to describe to you. We're going to use some fast forwarded videos and show you how to get here. And then we're going to spend the rest of this episode getting to the destination galaxy of Teye Pilni. So we're done here. We don't need the galactic map anymore. What we're actually going to go do is back down to this planet. I just arrived in this galaxy. Just made it here. And there should be... Let's see. Where was it? I had created I had found a monolith. That's the first step in quickly getting to the next galaxy, is finding a monolith. But it didn't stay tagged. I guess I should have gone right over to it. So we'll go through these steps. This is actually perfect now that I don't have the monolith tagged, because that is the first step. So we're going to fast forward. We're not going to fast forward. I'm going to show you a bunch of video footage. I'm going to show you a bunch of video footage, and we'll cover how we got here in this particular state. And then we'll come back to here, and we will make the final trip to the galaxy, to the 50th galaxy, where I'm hoping to build my permanent home. So if you'll remember, at the start of last episode, we had gone to the Atlas and we had created all the orbs and found out that that did not give us the result that I was hoping for. So I started working on the Artemis quest. This is part of No Man's Sky's Hello Games broken quest design, where you can actually do the Atlas quest but not get the right result, because you actually have to do these other quests in parallel with it. So eventually you get to this portal and you get this long drawn out dialogue section about how you found these two travelers. You found Artemis and you found the other person, and it's just Apollo and later Null. So Artemis and Apollo. And you go in here, and this takes you to this really strange galaxy where you find an Atlas station and run up here and have a very long conversation with the Atlas. And as a result, what you learn is that Atlas is dying. Of course, you learn that Artemis is, everybody is a function in a giant simulation, which is kind of cool as story ideas go. And I liked it a lot, the idea that you're playing a game, so it factually is a simulation, and these poor characters are now finding out that they are part of the simulation. So, and you're learning that Artemis was in a different galaxy and has since died, and so that was really sad. And then, of course, you have to make a decision on what to do with Artemis. Do you just finally mercifully terminate their life, or do you stuff them in another simulation so that they can live out the remainder of their days kind of as you are? So at that point, of course, you have the Atlas is dying, it says, and you want to reset the final interface, and you have to tell Apollo that it's all going to come to an end. And everybody's realizing that they're all in a simulation, which again is a really cool idea. I just don't like the execution so much. Well, I go back to the Atlas, and I'm missing the Heart of the Sun because we used it up at the start of the episode before, episode 40. So I had to go all the way back to my base to sit there and rebuild each orb one at a time. Fortunately, it's just materials. You just need materials to do it. You're going to need your cadmium and emerald and indium and all that stuff. And when you get done, you'll end up with the Heart of a Sun. And it's not that terrible of a process. So modified quanta, you can see, then you get the Heart of the Sun. Bingo. That point in time, head all the way back to the Atlas, where you're going to get a very long conversation with the Atlas itself. You're going to find out that it's dying. The number 16, which has come through the game for so long, is because it says it has 16 minutes left to live, but you don't know what that means in your own time frame, of course. And you have to build this next orb and stick it into your suit, where this thing, install the star seed, where you're then given the option to birth a new galaxy. It was at that point that I thought what I needed to do was go to the center of the galaxy. I had remembered from previously playing the game that you're supposed to get a choice between red, green, and blue, and green, if you choose it, will take you to Eisentam, which is the 10th galaxy and the first lush galaxy in the sequence of 256 galaxies. But I never got that choice, and I don't know if I needed to walk around the Atlas and try to click on something else or what. I still don't know exactly how that's supposed to happen. My thought was, I'll just go to the center of the galaxy, and maybe by going to the center of the galaxy, I'll get that choice. Well, that's not what happened. So clearly I went to the center of the galaxy. As you can see, it's a little odd how you have to click on it in the galactic map. The thing I do want to say is this sequence here, transitioning from one galaxy to another, is one of the coolest sequences in any video game ever. With the music and the build-up and everything, it's just so expertly done, and it feels properly grand and wonderful. And it's parts of the game like this that are so well done that make me feel like there were two separate teams of people working on this game, because some of the game is so awkward and weird, and the writing is so bad, and the quest design is so poorly constructed. And then there are moments like this that are just pure awesomeness. And it's like, how is this the same game? I don't understand how this is the same video game. I don't understand how the questing and base building can be so good and space combat can be so bad, or how these transitions can be so great, but the writing's so bad. So we're in the Hilbert dimension, which is not Eisentam, as you might have guessed. It's the second galaxy in the string. We just hopped from one to the next. And it was at that point in time that I became a little frustrated, and I started thinking, how do I get to a lush galaxy? And I started to have two thoughts. The first was, how do I get to a lush galaxy that I can call home? And second, maybe going to Eisentam, which is the first lush galaxy in the list, isn't the best idea, because it is the first one. And because if you do the quest the right way through a walkthrough, you can actually get directly from the first galaxy to Eisentam. I obviously missed it. I did something wrong in this whole process, and I didn't get there. But it can be done. So right now, I am in galaxy number 50, which is the galaxy that I want to be in. The video that I recorded to get here from galaxy 49 to 50 did not record, unfortunately. I don't want to leave you folks hanging. I want to show you how to do this, because it's really cool and it's really quick. It doesn't take a lot of time. It does take some resources and planning, but in case anybody wants to do this same sort of thing and keep galaxy hopping, this is the way to do it. You only need a few things in prep. First of all, you're going to need a ship that's kind of a junker. So in my case, I've mentioned this before in previous videos, I had made this ship. I called it the Galaxy Hopper. You don't need to use this ship yet. In fact, you can see it's still flaming from the last time I hopped galaxies. And the reason you want a junker, is because when you hop galaxies, Jumping from one galaxy to another destroys everything in your exosuit, your multi-tool, and your starship. You can't swap your exosuit for a different one, but you can swap your starship and your multi-tool. So that is what you want to do. So this is why you want to have a junker ship that you can easily repair. We're not going to use this and we're not going to repair it right now. Same thing with your multi-tool. But this is what I want to point out. You want to have that, and you want to have a second multi-tool, which you can pick up anywhere, which is really easy. I'm going to switch ships here to our good ship. And then I'm going to move it over here. All right. So you have your good ship, and your good ship is a ship that you want outfitted with as many augmentations to the hyperdrive as possible, because this thing is going to be, you're going to be asking it to fly a great deal of distance. You want to be able to make as long of jumps as possible when you go into hyperjump, because what we're going to do is use a portal to get really close to the center of the galaxy, and then we're going to have to make like 3 or 4 or 5 jumps to get to the actual center. And right before we jump into the center, we're going to switch our ship and our multi-tool. So how do we start this process off? Simple. You want to have these planetary charts that give you ancient artifact sites. So you can go swap your planetary chart specifically for these. This is what you want. You're going to use this. As soon as you show up in the next galaxy, this is what you're going to do. The very first step is going to be to use this. There are 3 different kinds of alien artifacts, and we're looking for the monolith. So if you don't find it on the first try, you want to take the chart and use it again. And if you don't find it on the second try, you want to use it again until you get a monolith. We got lucky, we got the monolith on the second one. If it tells you that you can't use it because it's finding the same kind of building, that just means it's finding another one of the same kind of artifacts. Keep clicking until you find a monolith. Now, as soon as you land on a new planet, you should do that, and you should also switch over to your best multi-tool, which I've already done, and you want to switch over and summon your best ship, which is uninjured. And I've done that. I've also put a little base here, but don't worry about that. Imagine you're on a planet that you just landed on from a new galaxy. So we're not even going to build a base or anything yet. You're going to find this monolith. You're going to use planetary charts. You're going to find a monolith, and you're going to head out to it. Now, you've switched over to your multi-tool, and you've grabbed your good starship. The one thing you don't have is now your suit is going to be all busted up. What I recommend you fixed first is the personal refiner, so that you can start refining things in case your suit isn't maxed out or you don't have all the resources that you need, because you're going to need to repair some things. You're still going to need to repair certain things over time, and you're still going to need to build a couple of things. So you can see that my suit is full of resources, and resources that are really important that you have before you attempt to do this is you want to have tons of wiring looms, and those are going to be the expensive part. You want to have material for enabling portals, so you're going to need things like sodium and carbon and indium and cobalt and all that kind of stuff. You want to have enough pure ferrite that you can quickly build a small base with. And then you're going to want all of the stuff that I've been saving. Korvax, casings, Viking, effigies, Gek relics. I'll show you what these are for. And you're going to want a bunch of microprocessors, carbon nanotubes, which you can make, and a bunch of metal plating, which is really easy to buy. Have all this stuff ready. Now we're going to run over to the monolith. And this is a really cool thing that is kind of a throwback to the early days of MUDs. And if you don't know what a MUD is, it's a multi-years of dungeon, and it's basically text-based versions of World of Warcraft and EverQuest before those games ever existed. And in a MUD that I used to play called Dragon Realms, what you had to do is there were no conventional healers. Instead, what you did is you went to an empath who took your wounds from your character and put them on them. And in order to do this, you needed to earn favors from religious sects and bring them the favors, because the favors allowed them to heal themselves. It was a really cool system. But earning a favor meant basically like going to a small little church or something and doing something like cleaning a room or something. You had to pay attention to the text of what the room was asking you to do. This is the same kind of thing. We're at the monolith. It's a Viking one. And we're going to pay attention to what the text says. The monolith shows images of creatures lying dead before it. Each sacrificed, butchered, and offer up to whatever gods were once worshipped here. So we're going to sacrifice a creature instead of let it live. That's going to make them happy. I blast the woodland animal in two. The monolith conjures a powerful wind, roaring its appreciation. And as the vision fades, I'm left with a gift. All right, that's the first half of the monolith. Now we have basically primed it for the next part, which is the important part. We want to be able to find a portal with it. Unfortunately, I don't have a Viking dagger. And that is why I don't like to do this in Viking systems, actually, because I'm short on Viking daggers. Some of them will ask for Viking effigies. A lot of them will ask for daggers. So my advice is, if you show up, if after crossing over into Hilbert or any other galaxy, if the first thing you do is land in a Viking system, just jump to a non-Viking system. Jump to one of the other ones. So we're going to try to find a non-Viking system close by. Like this one, which is what? Who's the eyeball? The eyeball is Viking. We're going to try to find. This is a G6 water. It's kind of perfect. That's also Viking. There's a bunch of Viking systems around here. How do we find some people? There's a Korvax one. G2PF. Oh, that's fun. G3. Learning what these symbols mean is kind of cool. The most important thing is to get the G0. Wow, that's a hot one. G9, that's a cold one. G9. So I'm looking as all. So here's a Korvax G2PF water. Let's go. So the first thing you do, switch to a good ship, switch back to your best multi-tool, and then find a monolith in a system, preferably where you have the ability to quickly make it work. Okay, so I got what's going on. Save the freighter from pilots. Oh, we busted on into a... Oh, wow. It's a big freighter, too. It's a big freighter. I don't know if it's a... You know what? I don't really have enough money to buy it, though, even if I did, so I'm not going to worry about saving them. See, even if I had that kind of money. So let's go to... Wait a minute. Was that it? Right there. My wingmen aren't doing a very good job here. You guys need to kill these guys. We're just going to go to the spaceship because we got better things to do. The space station. These guys next to me with the orange trails, they're my own posse. It's cool that you can add them, but until the space combat gets improved, there's not a lot of point in any of this. There's 8 pirates remaining. Wow. We don't care. Those guys can do whatever they want to that freighter. It's not our problem. Alright, so we're now in a Korvax system. We can go here and we can say, hey, it's an alien artifact discovered, which is the first kind. We don't care about that. So we'll use the second one. And it found a monolith. Great. I'm going to exchange a few more charts if I have them. I'm not sure I have any on me. Let's see, I want these. Oh, how many do I have? Okay. Actually, I'm not going to be doing a lot of... I'm gonna jump to the next system, but I found my forever home, basically, so... Okay, hold on. Where was that monolith? Oh, darn it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Right there. You want to get that thing tagged and... You want to get tagged and head straight for it. Alright. There we go. That planet is a Fisher planet. Okay, well. A Fisher-Price planet? Oh, we're going to the planet beyond it. How fun. Okay. So, this process is usually really quick because the vast majority of the time the planet that I actually started out on was already Gek or Korvax. I think when I hopped the 8 galaxies, only one of them was Viking, and I happen to have one Viking dagger, so it worked. This whole process gets a little more difficult if you're on a planet with the hostile sentinels. And if that's the case, probably the easiest thing to do is just find a different planet. But if you're in a rush, you know. So again, we're going to go up here and we're going to pay attention to what it was saying. Korvax, traveler, move something to something. So that's a hint. My movements seem normal, but everything else is running faster than it should. The sun spins around the globe in seconds. Days endlessly turn to night and back again. The creatures that graze and hunt around the site are passed by in a blur. I'm trapped in this time vortex. Numbers on my multi-tool seem to tick higher and higher. The closer I get to the monolith, the more disturbance is added to the timeline. So it said move away, so I'm going to move away. I step into the future. My experience is unchanged, but other passing entities have left piles of tribute at the foot of the monolith. So we did the correct thing. Thank goodness we knew some words, so we were able to accept move. So then we locate a portal because we got a Korvax casing. And there it is. So that's the next step in the process. Okay. Great. Because this has always been the hard part, is how do you get to the center of the galaxy? Traveling from one galaxy to the next is a time-consuming affair, unless you can make the time of traversing a galaxy actually really short, which we can, thanks to the portals. We're going to head down there and see that guy. And while we're doing that, I'm going to make sure that I have... Yeah, Pure Farah. I need enough of that to... There it is. Come on now. Land ho. There we go. Now, as you're going from one galaxy to the next, I strongly recommend doing this in making a base at the portal. You want to do this at a portal where there is nobody already here. You don't want to piss people off by hogging this space up, but the reason we want to do this is because if on the off chance that the portal glyphs you enter don't take you within 5,500 clicks of the center of the galaxy, you want to be able to come back and try a different set of numbers. That's the only reason to build a base here. I've had 100% chance success with the glyphs that I've been using, but I don't expect that to last forever. So out of an abundance of caution, that overused phrase, I've been doing this. And I put a biofuel reactor in here. Oh, I'm out of oxygen though. Okay. I'm out of oxygen. Let's see about getting some. Only because I want to... Where would... Usually there's a... Usually there's a cave nearby. But I don't see one here. So what we might have to do is just get away from that sentinel and then... And then see if the... Yeah, there's carbon here. Oxygen, carbon, oxygen. There's some O2 over here. That's not going to be enough. Always come prepared, kids. Oh, that would be nice. Sometimes I can get lucky and just plow my way into a situation where I find a lot of oxygen, but maybe not in this case. This is why I say I have spent a ton of resources jumping through 8, 9 galaxies now. So before you get ready to go on this journey, you want to have all your resources ready to go. And I wasn't expecting to do this because I thought I was recording, and then I learned later that my recording had failed, so sadly. Okay. Where the hell am I? There's like plants over there. Well. Yeah, this goes a lot better when you're already prepared. It just goes faster. Here, my first run at this was perfect. I went from Galaxy 49 to Galaxy 50 in about 15 minutes. Narrated the whole thing, was like, this is wonderful. It's going to be such a great example to people of how this works. And then I got done and OBS was not recording, which just made me very sad. Okay, where's the next ones? There's some over here. What are these plants here? Anything that can give me oxygen. Plenty of critters. Let's see if any of them want to eat us or not. What about you? Carbon and oxygen. Great. Now we know what those look like. Okay. What am I looking at here? I thought I had one over here. Well... If I can get some stuff, it'd be helpful. What's this? Carbon. Lots of carbon on this planet. That's great. You guys don't like me shooting things. What are you? Brittle bones. Sorry, buddy. Took your food from you. What do I have going on here? Those look like my best bet. Those are ferrite dust of some kind. Condensed carbon, can never have enough of that. These are good though. There are a bunch of these, so let's see if we can get some oxygen off them. I'm getting mostly carbon off them right now, which is which is the poo. Don't get in my way there, guy. I do not want to stab you with this. I know. Oh my, they're all over the place. A bunch here. I'm coming over here to get this this piece of oxygen. All the way over here for this piece of oxygen. Okay. We should have enough. Let's head back. Come on now. And there's a piece right there too. Uh-oh. You're aggressive, aren't you? Well, I had a mission to kill a predator, so... To catch a predator. And so, to reiterate the point, if you trust your glyphs, which I do at this point, I mean, like I said, I've had 100% success rate with them, but of course the one time that I say, oh, I trust my glyphs, that's when it's not going to work. Where was that plant? Right there. If you trust your glyphs, you don't need to build a base. But I know my own luck. The one time I don't build a base is when the glyph won't work, and then I'll want to come back to this portal to try a different set of glyphs, and I won't have built the base, and it'll be like, oh crud, and then I'll have to find another portal. So to save myself that trouble, I'm building this. And then I'm going to take that and move it in here. Alright, so now you're here. You have the portal. You got to have enough stuff to do this. Indium is great because it only costs 6. Carbon is abundant. Sodium's a buzzin'. I've been using ionized cobalt because I don't use it for a lot of other things yet. So you got to come in here and turn all these on, which is why, again, I recommend making sure you have the resources before you go on this expedition. But if you have resources with you, this whole thing goes pretty darn quick. Ionized cobalt. It lights up. Activate the portal. And then for glyphs, 12 turtles. It'll tell you that it's approximating the destination because the location is corrupted. I've had that happen every time, and that tells me that this is correct. It's going to get us within about 5,500 clicks of the center of the galaxy, which means that we're then only going to have to make like 4 warps with my ship to get to the actual center. Once we get to the center, then we have to do a little bit of work, which ends up being really easy to do if you have a freighter. See, so you can see the portal here. People have left a bunch of messages. They're like, hey, yep. So everybody knows about the turtle portals. There may be a different portal sequence that will always get you even closer to the center of the galaxy. I don't know. But this has worked for me, so haven't really been worrying about it. You can see we're at 5512 light years away from the galactic core, which is fantastic. So we're going to do this, go to the galactic core line and say, okay, we have to make about 4 jumps. Gex, one moon. What is that planet over there? It's an Arctic planet. Okay. Not a concern. Galactic core is closer this way. So like I was saying, it's been on average about 4 hops for me. And then you're at the last planet before the core, so makes it pretty easy. Oh yeah, you're right into the middle of... Now, if you haven't finished the quest yet, which I haven't, as soon as you get close to the core, I'm gonna fly right into that thing. I hate that this is so long text-wise, but you're gonna talk to Apollo, and he's gonna tell you about all this stuff. Basically, you both understand that this is going to the center of the galaxy. Okay, and then you're also gonna get Artemis if you've put them in the center of the in their own simulated galaxy, which is the same thing. You're all in simulations. So there's a whole lot of Kazukits. Oh, I'm clicking the wrong thing, but it doesn't matter. I've done this 1,000 times already. Well, I've done it 12 times because that's how many galaxies I hop through. So I just want it to be over. I can't believe that there's no fast way to exit that. It's really annoying, and if you don't do it, it sits there and beeps the whole time. So, all right. So now, what is this planet over here? Looks pretty. Starbulb Verdant. Ooh, fun. Okay. So now, how many more jumps we got to make? To the galactic core. This is jump number 3. And that... Oh, hyperdrive has no fuel. Easily fixed.
Technology recharge.
That's why we keep those things handy. Alright. Possibly this is the last one, so that would be the 3rd jump, I think. Like I said, I'm averaging somewhere around 3 to 4 jumps to get to the core when you're 5,500 out. The point is that the turtles put you close, which is what you want. And then all you have to do is make sure that this is the last one. Say, I want to go to the galactic core. Is that it? Nope. So this is possibly the last one. Okay, so jump number 4. Once the line points straight to the core, you're in the last system. And it's at that point in time that we'll prep to get ready for the jump. You want to switch your multi-tool and switch your ship. And you have to have 100% fuel in your hyperdrive to make the jump. So, all right. Is this it? Looks like it. Looks like that's the galactic core, isn't it? We want to point toward it. Yep. So that's it. We're in the last galaxy. Okay. At that point in time, you want to do this. You want to summon your freighter. Your capital ship. Hop out of this ship. Make sure that it's got enough launch fuel in its landing thruster. You're gonna be summoning it and taking off. Then you're gonna come over to your ship that you arrived in this galaxy in your junker. And you're very quickly gonna repair it. This is the advantage of doing it on your freighter, is that your freighter, if you have installed all the storage containers, which you should have, then it acts like all of these components are inside your own personal exosuit space. I actually need some more chromatic metal, so while I'm repairing some stuff, I'm going to do this. Take this pure ferrite out. And this is why we have all this cadmium too, by the way, so that we can do stuff like this. Alright, so now we're going to go back to the starship and we're going to say repair this stuff. It's a junker. I don't really need to repair the weapon systems, but I'm always... In fact, you don't. You're going to land on the planet. It doesn't matter. You don't have to repair those at all. And this is why I was saying you want plenty of wiring looms and microprocessors, is to fix these things. Dihydrogen jelly and pure ferrite. So while we're making some chromatic metal, go over here and switch to a junky multi-tool. So you can see I have this and it already has a broken mining beam because I don't use it for anything. Because as soon as you make the jump, you're going to switch your multi-tool, then you're going to summon your good aircraft and hop in it, and then you're going to find the next monolith. Oh, and in fact, I think I left some chromatic metal cooking on my ship. So this is why I recommend you install all of the storage mechanisms. What's in here? Yep, I left a lot of chromatic metal in there. What do I have? Let's put some more cadmium in there. Begin. Right. So now you can correctly say, go fix this. Chromatic metal, microprocessor, chromatic metal, wiring loom, shield. You don't really need to repair that piece either. And then all you need to do is make sure that your warp cells that are 100%. That's it. Now you have a junker ship ready to go. You have your junker ship ready to go. You've equipped yourself with your crappy multi-tool. You're going to go in here. You're going to adjust the current destination to the galactic core. And then you have to hold your mouse or your key up there. See where, and then the circle appears. And then a second time, hold it down on the galactic core. And there you go. And now you're jumping to the next galaxy. It's that simple. So the steps are, make sure you have the navigation chart so you can find the monolith. Go to the monolith. And you correctly answer the questions and have something like a Gek relic or a Korvax convergence, whatever you need. Get access to a portal. Go to the portal, build yourself a base in case you have to come back, or just trust that the 12 turtles work. You don't even have to build the base. You'll be 5,500 units away from the galactic center. So switch to your good multi-tool, switch to your good spaceship in case... You switch to your good multi-tool in case you have to harvest any more elements. Switch to your good spaceship with the best hyperdrive, the longest hyperdrive you have. Make 2, 3, 4 jumps to the center. And then before you go jump into the centers, summon your freighter, switch back to your crappy ship and fix it, Switch back to your crappy multi-tool. Make the jump. I made 8 jumps in a couple of hours, and it was taking me 15 minutes. I think I could probably shave that time down considerably if I wasn't spending a few extra minutes building a base at each one of the portals, because I didn't trust that the 12 turtles would always get me within 5,500 units from the center, but it has yet to fail me. It's worked every time. I think you could go all the way to the end with that. And now we're in Zalian Cosm. So we're in galaxy number 51, but we're going to go back to galaxy number 50 and do all the rest of our quests from there. Does that sound like a good time to everybody? Plus, we're going to look for we're going to spend a lot of time looking for a really amazing paradise world to build a permanent home on. Something that can be really, really cool. That will hopefully be really well designed and very neat. See if we can get there. So here you go. You've landed on a brand new planet. First thing, go get your good multi-tool. Second thing, summon your good starship. You don't even care where the other one is. It doesn't matter. Of course, since you hopped from one galaxy to another, this is for a quest. Since you've hopped from one galaxy to another, now everything in your exosuit needs to be repaired. This is very easily done, just like your starship, by going to your frigate. Your freighter, I mean. Alright, I am going to fix the one thing that needs fixing right away, which is this. Oh, and I don't have any chromatic metal. Can I get that? Oh, I can't. Okay. I'm going to have to go back to my frigate. Here's what we're going to do, though. We don't care about this. I don't care about being in this galaxy. Terraforming catastrophe. That doesn't sound good, does it? There's a fancy planet up there in the upper right, though. That looks like it might be a bountiful planet of some kind. Let's just go put the... What is it? Desert planet. Oh, fun. So all I want to do is teleport back to the last base that I made on the last world that I was on in the 50th galaxy, which I'm going to call home. And from there we can do all the really fun stuff. Finish all these quests. The Itori Ania Orbital. But now you know how to hop galaxies, right? It's cakewalk. You just need to make sure you have resources before you go. That's really the most important thing. So in my bases, I'm going to go back to Paradise 1. This is the Teyepilni galaxy. This is galaxy 50. It's a lush galaxy. The first planet I landed on after jumping from galaxy 49 to 50 was this planet, and it was already basically a paradise planet. It doesn't have any storms. It doesn't have hostile sentinels. It's very nice. It just doesn't have any water, which I would like to have. So I'm going to be looking for a planet that has that sort of stuff. Which reminds me, we're going to talk about this. Okay, so this is just a temporary base. Light showers. It's a great planet. We're going to take this thing, jump out of here. We'll come back here and probably build a base here just for fun. A more elaborate base. But for right now, what I want to talk about is how to find paradise worlds. I got this from a really, really cool video. Of course, they take a really long time to explain it. Which is good. It's in depth. But what you're looking for on these planets is... this says F4PF. Okay, those are the important things. And it says water, which is great. F and G are yellow star systems, which are the best star systems, the systems where you're most likely to find paradise planets. The second thing is that number 4. On a scale of 0 to 9, 0 being the hottest, 9 being the coldest, you want to try to pick systems that are in the middle. The P, the lowercase p, is for an unspecified peculiarity there. And then I can't remember what the F is for. It doesn't really matter. It's the F4 that's the most important. You either want it to be a G or an F, and you want a 4, 5, or a 6. You can find paradise worlds in other systems, but remember, you're trying to increase your odds. So, for instance, if we go here, it's 120 light years away. It's an F4. It's got a really good chance of having a paradise world on it. And since we are in a lush galaxy, that should increase the chances even more. And it's got a peculiarity in here somewhere. If we look at the scan, what's it say? Endless morass. Activated iridium here. Ooh, so if we need a bunch of activated iridium, and if we want to be able to mine mordite and not have to get it from animals, you could do that here. Wow, that's cool. How many planets are in the system? I forgot to even look. There's 2. So let's take a look at what the other planet is. It's this bad boy. Ooh, look at that. So it is a planetary anomaly. Wow. Okay. Well, no lush planets here. That is very neat looking, though. Planetary anomaly. Let's go see what that's like. Let's go land down on this just to see. Both of these planets, in fact, we might just go land on just to see what they're like. There's some planetary anomaly. Ooh, look, there's an orbital station over here. Not an orbital station, it's an observatory. My brain isn't functioning. Very cool. Unimaginable blue weather. Wow. Enforcing copious and undetected. So it's... These are going to be nice planets, aren't they? Oops, stock exchange. Let's set that up. Get that money before the crypto NFT people come and ruin it all. Yeah, I mean, this is... Oh, wow, look. I believe that's navigation data. We're going to go grab that. But also oxygen. We're short some. And this is going to be a mineral heavy planet, isn't it? Oh, but there's oxygen. There's oxygen. Oh, yeah. Nice. What do we have here? We got we got one of those plants over there. Okay. Cool. Let's go grab all this navigation data. Because maybe someday we'll decide that we do want to go all the way to the 255th galaxy just to say that we did it. And there are other lush galaxies. Inventory's full. Wow, really? Oh, well, we're going to get rid of the, yeah. Get rid of the feline liver here. We'll put this stuff in the bank, baby. Fun. So there's a planet where we can mine mordite and mine activated indium. We're going to come back and set up a mining base on that planet. This is fascinating. Wow. Yeah. Let's see. Do we want to be super redundant? going to call it that. Because I can. Oh. Oh, this is not a... It's not an observatory. I'm not sure I've ever seen one of these alien ones. Oh, I wasn't even paying attention to the eggs. Well, that's fun. Yeah, we don't want to... I've never seen this observatory building like this with the eggs around it before. Oh my gosh, I could have accidentally smacked one of those guys and blown myself to hell. Okay. Let's go, baby. So that's that planet. I do want to go take a look at this other one too. Just for the heck of it. Space station? Yeah, it seems to be having a problem with the space station. What's going on here? Spectation. It's a spectation. Oh, so this is just going to be... This is just going to be rebels, right? Or is this something else? Are these not rebels? Oh, look, it's not rebels. It's one of these dark ones. Oh, wow. So it's got one of these things. So remember in the galaxy, it had like a lowercase p, which meant unspecified peculiarity. And then it had that F thing. I don't know which one of those referenced this, but yeah, we won't bother with that. So this place right here, let's go take a look at that. It's got activated indium and mordite. Wow. And it's got water. And it's got a storm. This is the thing, if a planet is going to have storms on it, it'll have storms when you're landing. Oh wow, look. Is that mordite there that's pink? That's kind of cool. It's kind of a neat looking planet. I want to know if that's mordite. Not that I can mine it, because I can't. Oh, there's a building over there. It is a mordite deposit. Wow. It's got a death fog. Wow, it looks fancy, doesn't it? How cool is that? The mordite's pink. So can we find... I wonder if we could find any in mineral survey mode. Probably, yeah. Well, we'll be setting up some mines here. Are you going to go away, buddy? You better, because I'm going to shoot this thing. Good. Okay. Saw those two planets. That's cool. So my guess is, in addition to you wanting to find a yellow star and the right temperature, what you also want to do is get a system with a lot of planets. So that would be the next thing to do. I'm not so concerned about getting the galactic core, but like here's a... This is Viking. It's an F, but it's a 9. So what is this? It's a Corvax E7. Not what you're going to want. There's a 5. There's an F5F. And how many? It's got 3 planets on it. Cool. We're gonna go there, and then I'm gonna start worrying about quests. Again, the planet that I landed on when I came into this galaxy was basically a paradise type world right off the bat. It just didn't have any water on it, but I built a little base there, as you saw, over the miner settlement, and it's a perfectly good pace to start building like a normal base. But I'd like to I'm going to enjoy just going and exploring. Of course, by doing quests, we'll also be able to do a lot of exploring automatically too. It's a grassy planet. So a grassy planet qualifies as a paradise planet. It's one of the lush worlds. There's the space station. That's probably not lush over there. It's a molten planet. And this is the final one right here. This is what? Probably toxic maybe? What is it? Acidic planet. Okay. But this one is... That's the molten one. Where's the other one? Where are you? Where did I see you? There you are. That's a dusty planet. Okay, that's not the one I was looking at either. Where is everybody? There's that thing. There's that thing. The sun. So if we go with the sun and its level, and that thing. Molten. Where the hell is this thing? I hate that I can't find it. So I gotta switch to the view. Okay. I got a planet over there. We know that's not it. So where's the other one? There it is. That one right there? Star bulb, grassy planet. Let's go have a look. It looks like it's no water, though. It's going to be completely grassy, just like the first one I landed on. But again, I'm all for just checking these planets out. That's what I'm going to be doing. I wanted to be in a lush galaxy so I could land on all these and walk around on them and see if there's ever one of them that just makes me say, oh, I have to build here. This is where I'm going to build. And it's kind of one of the... It's kind of like, you know, finding the right kind of person. You'll know it when you see it. You'll know it when you meet them. Let's get over to some sunlight, though. Okay. It's a grassy planet. Oh, it's got some elevated stuff, like the first planet we were ever on. It's very red. Very red. Oh, what do we have there? What was that? Is that more aliens? Is that more angry aliens? Yes. That's... Well, if you want to kill some aliens, that's a place to do it. If you want to kill those aliens that look like they were in the first Riddick movie, Pitch Black, that's where they come from. It's the red grass is blindingly beautiful. I was going to see if there was some free parking somewhere, but if I don't find any very soon, then we'll just land somewhere. Because one place is as good as another. So really the only thing that I wish was a little bit different about No Man's Sky. And maybe that'll be something that happens down the road, like if there's ever a No Man's Sky 2 or something like that. Is, you know, these planets can have small peculiarities with them, about them, but at the end of the day, they're very big planets with a lot of the sameness across them. Whereas if you think about like Earth, you know, we've got everything from the forests of the Pacific Northwest to the Sahara Desert to this, you know, cold regions and tropical jungles, and these planets all have the same biome across all of them, which, you know, fits kind of with the lore of what the game is doing here, because it's every planet, every galaxy is a simulation, and it's the Atlas and all that jazz. But it does make you wonder if they couldn't make some regions of the planet a little more special, which would then make them really interesting to explore beyond what they already have. So, Fun little planet here. Very, very red. Very, very red. I guess I should open this up in case there's something that stacks with my already full inventory. Like dihydrogen jelly. Yeah, it's a neat planet. No water. We're looking for a lush planet, preferably one that is labeled as paradise, because all of the paradise worlds are slightly different. Like we saw the grassy, this is a grassy one, and obviously it's got a lot of grass. And that's what it is for the whole planet. And it's got the bubbles, so very cool. But if nothing else, I hope this episode, more than any of the prior ones, has been educational. I showed you how we got here, and I showed you the process of skipping from one galaxy to another in a way that doesn't cause you to have to fix everything all the time. Obviously, oh, here's what we're going to do to end this episode. We are going to fix everything. So when you find your forever home galaxy, when you figure out where you want to be for good, then I think that the next thing to do is summon freighter. Too close to planet. Okay. The next thing to do is summon your freighter. And go fix your exosuit, because now you're not going to be hopping galaxies anymore. I'm not going to be hopping galaxies. I'm going to be staying here in Galaxy 50 for a long time. I'm going to be working on finishing all the quests. Of course, we will have to galaxy hop again to finish this quest. The Purge. But that's cool. So now we're here. We're inside since we're inside the freighter, it treats everything as if it had access. As if all of these materials are already in your suit, which is great. We're going to go over here and get this chromatic metal we left. And add some more. Oh, no. Wrong door. Door number 2. Large refiner. Oh, I didn't put any in there? I thought I did. I thought we left you. Oh. Be a good idea if you get that started. Okay. Same thing with our suit. We left some of it in here, but oh yeah, we gotta fix it first. So we don't have enough. We have enough to start fixing some of this other stuff though. Like this tritium and that. So this is the thing I recommend you do. We're missing some things like ion batteries, so we'll make those and go buy them. We have enough room to make a bunch of ion batteries, I think, and I think we have the materials for them. What do you need to make it? You need cobalt and ferrite dust. We got a bunch of that. Because the exosuit is the one thing you want to do this one time. You know, you don't want to do like I've had to keep doing and keep fixing this because my first video didn't take. Thanks, OBS. Man, it was just so majestic running from Galaxy number 49 to Galaxy 50, and then for it to not work was kind of frustrating. Yeah, chromatic metal for that too. Mordite, so. Get ourselves here in tip-top shape. And then we can worry about having fun with all the quests. You can also see why that becomes expensive, because those wiring looms, that's the expensive component. There's our ion batteries. But the good news is I shouldn't have to do this for a while. All right, what do you got for me here, buddy? 81%. Oh, heck yeah. Just stop and give me that. All right. Keep going. It's going to be the epic episode today here. 3 of those begin. Okay. That one. I need some more oxygen. I need oxygen. Man. For the longest time, oxygen was not a problem. That's pretty funny. We've tapped out our oxygen supply. So that's something we'll want to create. Is a chance to get a lot more oxygen. Cadmium. What am I missing here? There we go. So I'm going to worry about fixing all that stuff, but that's where we're at, folks. We're in Galaxy 50. We're going to be spending a lot of time looking for a forever home and doing all of these quests. I've got a few things to pick up from creatures, but we can return to the armorer, all this stuff. We can take Devil's Tower, and if we want to, we can deconstruct that and reconstruct it somewhere in this galaxy. So there's all the settlers, base computer archives, space anomaly, the purge, all this jazz. So everybody, thanks for hanging out with me and for sticking with this No Man's Sky series for such a long time. We're into August, September now. As I record this, it's still March 2023. So this is months and months later that's finally going to get to air. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. As always, if you dig it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Leave your questions and comments down below. Consider supporting my Patreon, and I will see you on the next episode as always. Until then, happy gaming, everyone.